Hi, today I'm here to show you everything you need to do to get a perfect finish on your next sealant project. Let's start by identifying whether your project needs to be sealed or more commonly, resealed. Over time, caulk can break down and you'll find cracks or voids that can let in moisture and air. Mold is another common problem in areas of high moisture. And some will start to yellow with age and sun exposure. If you notice any of these, it's time to fix your sealant. Let's get started. First, you want to make sure to choose the right sealant for your project. Loctite Perfect Finish Premium Hybrid Sealant is designed to last. It picks up where other technologies fall short. Latex formulas are cheap and easy, but they break down quickly. Perfect Finish is water resistant and extremely flexible for long-lasting durability. Silicones are used in high moisture areas because they're waterproof and remain flexible, but they're stringy, which makes it difficult to use. Perfect Finish has the same benefits, but designed to reduce stringing, so it's easier to use. Additionally, Perfect Finish is paintable to help match building substrates. Silicones aren't. Now that you've selected the right sealant, let me show you what tools you need to get a perfect finish. Next is surface preparation, and I'll be honest, this part can be tedious, but it's very important to the success of your project. You want to be absolutely sure all the old sealant has been removed and the surfaces are clean. Especially with old silicones, you want to remove everything or you could have trouble with adhesion. You can use a utility knife, or I also like to use these small blades. I can bend them and get tighter into the corner, but be safe. To lift it out, it's nice to use a tool designed to remove old silicone, like this one. So here we are, we've gouged out all the old product, and the next step is to clean this out. And I just want to get in here with a brush. I like to use a brush to get the loose little bits and crumbs out. And then I want to clean it thoroughly, and mineral spirits works really good for this. So I'm going to put a little mineral spirits on a cloth rag, and then I'm going to get right into that corner and really clean it good to make sure that I've got all that product out. Okay, we're ready to get going here, but before I apply the sealant, I have one last consideration. If I just apply the sealant and then tool it in there, there's not much to control where it goes. And if you don't do this every day, it's a nice trick to use some painter's tape to control that. It almost guarantees success. And to do it, what I do is I tear a piece that's manageable, maybe 12 to 24 inches long, and I place it about 1/8 of an inch away from the corner. Then I'm going to do the same on the opposing face of the backsplash. And take your time, get this even. You can peel it back up if you're out of alignment. And then I work my way down the whole sink like that, applying section after section until it's completed. Then I'm ready to apply the sealant. You know, I hear from a lot of people that have trouble getting product out of the cartridge, and a lot of times your first instinct is to say that it's dried up. Most of the time it's not dried up, it's just that the seal hasn't been properly punctured. And there's a variety of different ways that manufacturers seal these, with a foil patch, or sometimes you have to cut the tip first and then go in there with something long and poke the seal, or this one has a nub. What I really like about Perfect Finish is they hang the nozzle on the side of the cartridge, making it apparent what I need to do to get this product out. And it's as simple as just cutting this nub, just like that, and I'm ready to go. Next, you just flip up the nozzle and twist it on. The next step is to cut the nozzle. And this is more important than you think for the final look of your bead. First, on a safe surface, support the nozzle. Then, using a sharp utility knife at a 45-degree angle, cut through the tip. Now, cut it a little smaller than you think, because you can always make this bigger. The critical tool for your project is your caulking gun. You don't want to buy a cheap gun. Spend a few extra dollars. It's a tool you'll have forever, and it's going to make your project a lot easier. Now, let me show you how to use it. When it comes to caulking guns, you've got a couple choices. This is an inexpensive gun, and it's a ratchet style gun. It has little grooves in the plunger, and these need to be engaged in order to move the plunger forward. One of the bad things is to get the pressure to release, like at the end of a bead, I have to take my hand off the gun, reach back here for the plunger, rotate it, and pull it back to release the pressure. That's just not convenient. Plus it's light duty and it's prone to twist and flex. A better gun is going to be beefier all around. Nice big cast iron handles, heavier duty on the plunger rod and barrel, so it's not going to flex like that gun. And in operation, as the plunger pushes forward, to stop the pressure, all I need to do is hit this switch with my thumb and it's going to cut off the pressure, stopping the flow of the bead. This is my choice to get a perfect finish. Okay, now let's take a look at how to use this caulking gun and get a perfect finish. Step one is to release the pressure on the plunger and pull it back. Then take the cartridge, heel first, and load it into the barrel. Then push the plunger forward and you're ready to get started. Okay, now it's time to seal the gap. Position the tip into the gap and be sure the cut of the nozzle is held parallel to the repair. Finally, pull towards you with moderate pressure and confidence. Now, let me show you how to make that bead look perfect. You can dip your finger or tool in some dish soap and water. The soapy finger allows it to slide across, smoothing the sealant rather than pulling it out. Once tooling is finished, immediately pull back the tape onto itself at 45 degrees away from the joint. This helps control unwanted sealant from ending up on your surface and gives you a finish you can be proud of. Now, let's explore some other areas where sealants are commonly used in and around your house. Loctite also has an all-purpose product designed to seal all other areas in your house not involving a kitchen or bathroom. It's called Loctite Perfect Finish House and Home. Yeah, one of the areas that we tend to overlook is outside our house. And a gap like this in between my window and trim can cause a lot of problems. I could get water, leaks inside the house, I could get air, and even pests in there. So it's a really good idea to address these and keep an eye peeled for these situations. My first step here is just to sort of clean it. And I use the brush to clean out any dirt and debris and get that as clean as I can. And then my choice for this is Loctite Perfect Finish House and Home. I like this because it's not going to shrink like this old sealant did, and it's not going to fail in the harsh elements outside. So I'm going to take my House and Home and let's just apply a really nice bead of House and Home right in this gap here. Now, when I'm applying a bead outside, I don't worry about tooling it. I'm putting a little larger bead because this bead needs to hold up to the elements. It's going to be exposed to UV rays and rain and snow, so I want that extra material in there so it can flex and hold up and have a perfect finish on my house for a long time. The next common area is a decorative trim, like a chair rail or base molding in your living room. Many times caulk is used here to hide imperfections or gaps between the two substrates. You'd be surprised how applying sealant can visually freshen up a room. Because Perfect Finish doesn't shrink, it's also great for filling nail holes. Just apply and wipe it off flush. Okay, now it's time to seal the gap. Using a finger or caulking tool, smooth out the bead to get a perfect finish. Doesn't that look so much nicer? It's pretty easy to make a mess when you're using sealants. If unwanted sealant makes its way to your surface, follow these simple steps to get it off. First, try to wipe up the wet sealant with a damp cloth. If that doesn't work, mineral spirits should do the trick. You may be asking, what if it's dried? How do I get it off then? Try to rub the sealant off with your finger. If that doesn't work, you can try an old plastic card, like a hotel room key, and gently scrape it off. The next more aggressive option would be a razor blade, being careful not to damage the surface. Well, that was kind of fun, and I hope it helps with your next project. Remember, say no to going it alone. Say yes to a picture-perfect finish. Say yes to Loctite.